Okay, I think we're live here. So thanks everyone for showing up. Preparing your business for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We're just going to wait for a minute or two just to allow anybody who might be running a little bit late to show up here. But yeah, it's a joint production with Katana and our friends and partners at Shopify. With Emily here, we'll be doing some intros and kind of go through kind of the topic areas in a second here. And then I have to thank Johanna on our team, our marketing team here, for kind of saying it best. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's cool. So it's going to get a lot cooler over the next little bit in terms of in terms of what we're going to be going through. So yeah, we'll just wait another minute or so, and then we'll get into it. Okay, I'm getting impatient. I'm a little too excited here. Okay, so let's get into it. Yep. So my name is Mark. I'm head of technology partnerships here at Katana, and we have Emily here. So she's the senior merchant success manager at Shopify. So Emily, I'll leave it to you for a little introduction before we get going.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. And thank you again for having me here today. Really excited to talk with you all. As Mark said, I'm on our merchant success team here at Shopify. I work with our largest merchants on the platform. And obviously, this time of year is our busiest as we're prepping for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So I'm excited to share with you all some of the key trends we saw from last year, some of our assumptions for this year, and then some tips and tricks on how to prepare for a successful season this year.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it on our side. And what we try to do for this session is make it incredibly interactive. So everyone on the right-hand side right now, feel free to ask questions throughout. We'll answer them towards the end of the kind of the Q&A, going back and forth between myself and Emily here today. There's also going to be some random but very cool poll questions. Feel free to answer them as you go, because we're curious to learn a little bit more about you as well. And then in terms of the topic areas, yeah, we're going to spend about 30 minutes going through some of the key trends, assumptions, tips to prepare, how to stand out without giving a discount, and leveraging first-party data. So those are going to be the key areas we're going to focus in on. And then after which, if you guys have questions, again, we'll answer any of them that you might have throughout, or feel free to ask at the end. Or if you're shy, if you're really shy, it's all good, because we'll send a note out with our contact details, and feel free to ask questions afterwards on that too. So without that, let's get rid of that. Oh, now it's just us. Yeah, so we'll get into the first question, Emily. Key trends. Yeah, so obviously a lot happened in 2021. Curious, kind of the key things that you saw with kind of Shopify merchants, and, what's going to carry into 2022.
Yes, absolutely. So I have a few slides for this specifically, just because there is a lot of great information. So the first things I'll go through are some of the key findings from 2021. And I think you'll find some of these probably aren't surprising, and then some of them might be a little surprising. So the first is that we saw the number of sales generated from social commerce integration. So think checkout on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Almost tripled compared to 2020. So this is really fascinating. Again, customers want to buy where they are on mostly on their mobile device. So make sure that you have integrations to the social channels that you're advertising on and where your customers are, especially for products where it's really just that like one and done type of product that you're buying. So again, expect this to stay pretty consistent for this year. The second is that discounting was softer last year than in previous years, which is interesting. Like again, considering everything we were seeing leading up to the season, we were still in the throes of COVID. But yeah, the average discount rate dropped from 26% to 24%. Another interesting nugget here that I'm seeing is that in previous Black Friday seasons, merchants tended to maybe start with one discount for Black Friday and the weekend, and then up that discount for Cyber Monday. We're not really seeing that much anymore, more keeping the same consistent discount throughout the weekend. Also helps from like a marketing perspective. You're not having to redo all of your assets just to change from like 25 to 30%. So we're really seeing merchants start with the strongest discount that they're going to offer right away. And this third finding is the most fascinating to me, and one that I am really excited to see how this continues for 2022, is that for the very first time, we saw a decrease in purchases where people were actually typing in their credit card. Think that like standard checkout that everyone hates doing. Instead, customers were opting for accelerated checkouts. And I think Apple Pay, Google Pay, Shop Pay, of course. So if you don't have those accelerated checkouts live on your site now, definitely recommend that you look into testing those, because customers do look for that at checkout now. And quite frankly, if you don't have them active, they're much more likely to abandon. So definitely start looking into adding those checkouts, accelerated checkouts to your store now, and also promoting them throughout the site. You can add accelerated checkout buttons to your PDPs, so it can be very easy for customers to purchase in one click. But again, fascinating. I'll definitely be interested to see how this trends for this year. The other two big trends were the increase in purchases made with a buy now, pay later solution. So again, increased by 29% over 2020, represented 8% of all purchases made online for the season. Again, we don't see anything changing here. If anything, it's going to increase for 2022, given all of the providers that are out there now, and given the state of the economy right now. So again, if you don't have a buy now, pay later solution implemented on your site now, definitely a good time to look for one and start testing. And then lastly, buy online, pick up in store really increased in volume last year. So there obviously was so much talk pre-Black Friday weekend of shipping delays and all of that. So we saw more stores adopting a buy online, pick up in store option. And really what we found is the merchants that did this did grow faster than merchants that did not offer an option. Now, this isn't going to be feasible for everyone, but really look into what are some alternative shipping and fulfillment options that you could offer for this season. And we'll talk about one of those options later on of tips for preparing. But yeah, again, definitely something to explore. If anything from these takeaways, again, looking at accelerated checkouts and buy now, pay later are some of the easy wins you can do for right now.
Very cool. Yeah, it seems like you need to have a lot of options to know your buyers and kind of the habits that they have. And here's a bunch of them to consider going into the year. So, I think now it's 2022, things change. So curious around thoughts around key assumptions and things to think about for 2022.
Absolutely. So I don't think these are going to come as too big of a surprise to anyone, given all of the news in both of these areas. But first is that peak season is beginning earlier and lasting longer. So a few stats for last year. Last year we saw a 16% increase in online sales during the first week of November. And online shopping grew 18% worldwide during the last 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So again, we're not in this state anymore where, you launch the discount at midnight on Black Friday and it ends midnight on Cyber Monday. Customers do expect the discounts to be active and the promotions to be active for longer periods of time. And again, I will be curious to see if we're going to see the same like shipping constraints that we saw last year, and that really drove up people wanting to promote earlier in the season. But from the brands I'm speaking with now, most are planning to start in pretty early November with their promotional strategy, and then really trying to vary up the messaging and the content, but keeping the discount consistent for that like 6-week period. And then the second, again, really shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, but the majority of shoppers are ranking inflation as their number one concern heading into holiday season. So what our assumption is that this is going to lead to a lower average order value and units per transaction for merchants this season, but we do expect overall sales to still grow, just given the increase in customers overall. Again, this is why you will want to have a buy now, pay later solution if that makes sense for your business. Really recommend trying it out now in this period leading up to leading up to the season. But again, hopefully we're at the peak. That's what I keep hearing in the news. But this probably is still going to be a concern for shoppers going into the season. So definitely keep that into consideration as you're forecasting AOV and units per transaction.
Yeah, it's the second one I smile a little bit. Just going to the gas station, seeing that go down a little bit, you're kind of like, okay, we're maybe in the clear, and then that's the hope, right? So that all that being said, though, yeah, it's like everything else. You're working with all these different Shopify merchants right now, and what are some of the like tips or things that you're seeing that in 2022, things that other business owners could kind of take from for preparing?
Yes, absolutely. I have a bunch of great tips here. So the first two are really like just making sure you are connected with all aspects of your business and all of your contacts at your business. Even if you're just the e-commerce manager and maybe you don't talk with your supply chain team that much, you definitely want to be in contact with them this time of year just to make sure the things you're planning to promote on the website and to promote in marketing materials make sense with your inventory. I definitely run into that a few times with brands where it's like, oh, well, what we had planned for the email turns out we don't actually have the stock, or we don't plan to have the stock in time. So make sure you're in contact and you have some contingency plans there. And then another really great thing to do in the next few weeks is do a retro of last year. I'm sure that companies did this immediately after the season last year, like in January. But again, the world is a very different place that it was January 2022 than now. So it's a great opportunity to do a retro. And now that you've had some time to cool off from the last season, what went well? What didn't go well? What broke that you weren't expecting it to? How are your integrations all stacking up? And I am a person that likes to like create a problem statement and then what are all of the possible solutions, and from most severe to most easy, if you will. So do that with some of your most important initiatives and integrations and such, just so you're prepared and you have the solutions mapped out well in advance and you're not trying to solution in the moment of a crisis. And also, again, have some contingency plans in general. So again, a lot of the brands I speak to, they will have plans for maybe extra promotions throughout December if for some reason they didn't hit the numbers they wanted for the weekend. But again, you don't have to like throw out that promotion if you don't want to, but just to have it in your back pocket and have the assets ready so you can run a flash sale, you can run like free shipping for the weekend or something if you want. Again, really take this time to over prepare. So during November and December, really all you're doing is pulling from your arsenal. Some other things you should be doing right now, identifying any gaps in your tech stack. So do you have all of the right app partners connected? Again, do you have all the relevant payment methods that you need? Really take the time to make sure all of those are connected and working as you want. And most importantly, focus on acquiring customers. This is really the time to do it, so that pool of new customers you have now will be ready to rebuy come the season. So really take the time to work with your marketing and acquisition teams to grow your email list, grow your SMS list, and really focus on that, because again, we're at that like great time right now where consumers that are buying now will be ready to rebuy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And then lastly, what I kind of hinted at is around like fulfillment is there's still time to consider holiday pop-up locations. So at Shopify, we have a partnership with a company that offers like easy pop-up locations where you're not signing a lease for something, but you're just utilizing a space that's already there. So consider that if it makes sense for your business, and if you're trying to establish an inn in a certain market and there's an opportunity to do a pop-up there, definitely recommend it. And again, that offers that kind of like alternative fulfillment option. But yeah, really during the next 2 weeks, just recommend taking the time to think about how last year went, what things can you anticipate for this year, what contingency plans can you have in place, and acquire new customers.
Very cool. Good tips. I guess I know part of it was in there was around like potentially doing flash sales, discounting, having that kind of in your arsenal. But are there other kind of methods or things that you see that you can use potentially to stand out from competition?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So there's actually quite a few things that you can do to create a connection with your customer that aren't discounts. Obviously, like discounts pretty much are king at the end of the day, but there still are a lot of things that you can do. Really, they fall under the bucket of finding moments that you can surprise and delight your customers. So one thing I love is including a note in your customers' packages. There's services out there that make it seem like it's a handwritten note, but it actually isn't. So I think that's a really cool gesture. Including a free sample or a free gift in their order that they weren't expecting. I know one brand that I ordered from recently. They sent like a cocktail recipe within the package, and I thought that was really cute to go with the sun hat I ordered. And so yeah, finding those like surprise and delight moments. Also a fun one is like featuring your customers on your social media with their consent and everything. But that's a great way to get involvement from your customer base with like those unboxing videos or featuring what they bought. But again, a very natural one. I do want to touch on like discounts themselves, just because they are such an important part of this season and aren't going away. So we did pull some stats from last year in terms of like what the most used discounts were. First was obviously site-wide discounts. Probably no surprise there. Second was free shipping. Again, a lot of times what we see is site-wide plus free shipping in combination. Closely followed were discounts on select SKUs. Love this one when you're trying to move inventory. And then about 15% of stores had listed none or no discounts. Again, very common strategy even still, just relying on new arrivals and the actual product itself for this season. And then lastly, free gifts as a promotion. But some other opportunities for discounts other than just like, site-wide 30% off that we recommend exploring are deeper discounts when customers bundle products. So again, this might be like we talked about earlier, how fewer units per transaction due to concerns over inflation this year could be a great way to help increase items in cart. Time-sensitive discounts, only available today, or I've seen a bunch of ones where they'll have one discount from like 9 a.m. to noon, and then another from noon to 3 p.m., kind of tiering that way. Offering special daily deals or doorbusters, again, fantastic way to get rid of excess inventory there. And then again, like buy now, pay later solutions are another natural way to make it seem like you're getting a discount, but it's not. Actually, you're still paying full price, but really leaning in on the buy over time aspect. So lots of options to play with there.
Lots of options, but the one of the general themes I take away from something like that is like the concept of delighting, right? Because I think if you can figure out ways to delight your customers, and then if you're able to even leverage that to sharing and social, which is actually a really good point too, that those are the things that can make a big difference, not just in season, but kind of on the post, right? On repeat buyers. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I was about to say one last question. So yeah, we got first party data as a theme topic here, and potentially leveraging that. So what does that mean? So I guess what is first party data? How the definition around that, and then how can you actually better use data?
Yeah, no, this is such a hot button topic, and internally at Shopify and with our merchants, ever since the updates that were rolled out last year by Apple, where encouraging customers not to share their information across apps and all of that. So what we are really trying to focus on now is making sure merchants understand all of the opportunities there are to collect first party data from their customers in a very natural, organic way that isn't creepy by any means. So first party data is the data that you as the customer are providing. So like my order information, or if I am filling out a quiz on the site to figure out the perfect eyeshadow, that information, providing my email or my phone number, that's all first party data. Some other examples here, again, like surveys, post-purchase surveys, subscriptions that you're subscribed to, and anything that's actually happening on your website itself. So we're really encouraging brands to make sure that they have strategies to collect first-party data. So email, SMS. I'm really passionate about that because that's the world I came from prior to coming to Shopify. So making sure you have compelling reasons for customers to opt into your email list and your SMS list. That's not just, getting access to the discount, but having great content in there. And again, some really interesting things to try right now are like those surveys and quizzes that you can add that give some extra layer of information along with email address. And what we found is that, or we in the industry as a whole, when you leverage first-party data to target customers, you do see an uplift in revenue and ROI here. So again, don't anticipate the world shifting in any way as it is or where it's trending now. So you really need to make sure that you have sound strategies to collect that first-party data. Here at Shopify, we launched a new Plus exclusive app called Shopify Audiences earlier this year, which we have a lot of marketing on right now, especially going into the holiday season, that helps merchants find new customers using first-party data. So definitely reach out to your Shopify rep or Shopify in general if you're interested in learning more about that. But again, don't see the world changing in any way here. So making sure that you are taking control of your customers when they are on your site.
That's great. So those are, I'm just going to go back to our presentation as we're chatting here. But yeah, I'd say like those are the main topic areas that we're looking to go through today. It was awesome concepts, things that to keep in mind, things that we need to definitely approach. So this was great. I think now it's Q&A time. And yeah, this often goes both ways here, where sometimes you get tons of questions, sometimes not so many. So if anybody's got questions right now that they want to post out to Emily, yeah, here's your chance. And if not, it's all good because we can obviously send you a quick note afterwards with my contact details, and feel free to reach out to her after as well to give everyone. Oh, we got one from Morgan coming in. It's anticipation. Oh.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like perfect. You answered everyone's question, so it's like makes it too easy, Emily. Cool. Okay. So yeah, no, it's like, quick and easy here, but this was great. So I was about to say the last piece here is, yeah, for everyone who came out, I just wanted to thank you guys so much. So on Katana right now, we're actually offering a 30% off your first 3 months using this Black Friday 30 code. It's good until October 31st, so you just have to sign up before then, and it's available for all of our plans. So again, I just wanted to thank Emily so much for taking the time here today. I see Taylor. Taylor, yeah, we'll get in touch with you right afterwards in terms of more information around the Shopify Katana integration. Have someone get in touch with you. Yeah, no, thank you everyone for showing up today, and yeah, really do appreciate it, Emily. Really good tips, and yeah, this recording will be made available to everyone who attended, and at some point it'll be available public too. So. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for hosting me. And again, I know this is a exciting but also scary time of year. So no, everyone is going through it together exactly at the same time. We actually do have a question on the Katana side. Any new native e-commerce integrations coming for Black Friday?
AI dev. Nothing right now. We'll from a native standpoint to talk through. So not right now, not this time for Black Friday.
Great. Awesome. But yeah, and here at Shopify, we're going to have a few more blogs and webinars and things happening leading up to Black Friday. So again, feel free to join any of those that you see. Very similar information that will be shared, so you all will get a heads up or a leg up there.
Cool. Okay, this is awesome. No, thank you so much again, Emily. Thanks everyone for coming, and yeah, have a great rest of your week ahead.
Thanks all.
Bye.